Okay, I am live, everybody. Hello, hello. Happy New Year. Well, belated anyway. Happy New Year, nevertheless. But as you can see, guys, my title says My View on How Society Sees Me. Well, let's get this popping. All right. For a long time, since I've been disabled, I saw a lot of changes as far as how my friends reacted, as how society itself reacted. And for a while, it ticked me off. But now, instead of it making me angry, it made me really, really irritated. And this is why. Okay, well, before the wheelchair, I was I took, steps, walks, whatever. Really wasn't a big thing. The only visible sign that I was disabled was my oxygen tank and my oxygen tubing. At the time, I was on oxygen for a good year or so. Okay, so that was a noticeable disability. And when you see, when people saw that, it was like basically, hey, she's young. What is she doing with that? She shouldn't be doing with that. It's meant for old people. It's meant for this person. It's meant for that person. And to be honest with you, it's pretty much meant for everybody that has a problem with their lungs or they have problems breathing, and it's just something that supplements the oxygen that we're missing. After that, I was taken off the oxygen, and guess what? I was put right into a wheelchair. And the wheelchair is ambulatory. Let's discuss what that means. Ambulatory is, well, if a wheelchair is deemed ambulatory, it's basically for a disabled person who's um, unable to walk a certain few steps, or they can't walk past a certain amount of feet, or they can't, you know, walk around like say a grocery store without extreme pain. So what the wheelchair does, it aids us so that we can move around places like doctor's offices, grocery stores, parks, malls, or wherever else we need to go. So again, as I'm at the doctor's office this Monday, I was there to see my cardiologist, and again, I get the googly looks in people's eyes, like, oh wow, she's in a wheelchair, she's young, she shouldn't be there, her feet are moving, kind of look, that look that we get when we're not paralyzed. And shout out to all my paralyzed, really, paralyzed family. No disrespect to you because I love you all. It's for the people who are not. And if they see a toe move, if they see a foot move, if they see a leg move, they're like wondering, what's that for? Why are you in a wheelchair? You're perpetrating a fraud. No, you're perpetrating a freaking smart person. I mean, you're actually stupid. Number one, there are people that use wheelchairs for ambulatory reasons that are not paralyzed. Not all for paralyzed people. It's for people like me, or people with MS, or people with ALS, or people, that can take steps but can't walk a full distance. Come on, wake up, people. Stop being stupid. Doesn't make any sense. You want to be a jerk and start telling people because your freaking foot move or your freaking leg move that there's something freaking wrong, that you can't be in a wheelchair? You freaking stupid. Every person that's in the wheelchair is not freaking paralyzed. Come on, man. Get real with yourself. What if it was you? What if it was you and someone would give you the googly stupid look like, okay, look at her. Her toe moved. Why is she in one? Bruh, do you want to be in one? Do you really want to? Asking people in wheelchairs why they are in it is the dumbest question you can ever ask a person like that, especially the way you ask it. Like, what are you doing in it? Like, is that for you? Are you freaking kidding me? Are you freaking kidding me? When people see disabled people, we get that, oh my gosh, I feel so sorry for you. Why? What do you feel sorry for? This is how we are. I mean, come on. Seriously? Or, oh, what happened? Oh my God, are you going to be okay? No, yeah, really, lady? Really? Am I going to be okay? Do I look okay? Do I look happy? Am I still alive? Or am I a corpse that happened to be magically freaking maneuvering this freaking wheelchair? Or I'm just in it, anymore. Are you kidding me? Or you get those, oh, everything is going to be fine. You're going to be better. You're going to get out of that chair. You're going to walk again. Are you freaking nuts? What kind of medical school did you go to? Where's your degree? How did you get to that diagnosis without having one shred of medical evidence? Oh, well, if you pray hard enough, lady, I prayed. Has nothing to do with what's going on. Has nothing to do with what anybody's gonna have going on. It's just what it is. Then you get those stares. Come on, we all know the stare. When you see someone that's disabled, you get that silent but deadly stare, like we're alien or we're foreign or we're something else. We're not human anymore. We kind of morphed into this thing that they don't understand. And they just have to study it. So what they do is stare at you until you get to a point where you start staring back. And when you start staring back, then they get offended. I'm not understanding this. It's a circus. And the only thing that the world and society is missing is the fact that we are all people. We're human beings. We're not things, we're not possessions, we're not burdens, and we're not in this big depression box that you guys think we're in. Of course we get depressed. What human doesn't? Name me one person that doesn't get depressed every now and again about something. Tell me one person that doesn't. Come on, people. Get real with yourself. Get real with yourself. Every single person that's disabled is not unhappy, man. We're not unhappy. It's just that we can't do some things that you probably can at the moment. That's all that is. We have challenges, but you know what? We're strong enough to get over them. Well, we don't ridicule you, do we? We mind our own business. But you know what? You have some people that just can't let it go. You just have to be a jerk. They just have to say what they want to say. I'm going to say this. Nobody has to watch my channel. Nobody has to subscribe. They don't if they don't want to. This channel basically is for me to let everybody know exactly what's going on with me. I don't necessarily have to show my face, and I don't need to. And I get that a lot. Why don't I show my face? What for? My face is right there in that beautiful bubble that keeps popping in and out. Why do I need to be on video? And it's a lot of times I'm not able to. So I do this. I think the problem is with people, society, and how they view disabilities. They just feel like it's something we ask for, not necessarily something we just happened. It happens. It's not something that we do to ourselves, society. Social media can make people that's disabled feel pretty bad about themselves sometimes. You know, when you get this post and this person's telling you about their day, or they're showing you pictures on how they get around, or they're showing you their life through their eyes, and people get offended by that and they want them to stop. Let me tell you something. If this was you, when you want the world to really understand what goes through the mind of a person like me or anyone else that's disabled, and another pet peeve of mine, and how society view disabled people, for some reason this society thinks disabled is a person that can't do anything. Can't move their arms, can't move their legs, can't cook, can't wash their butt, can't do nothing, just sit there and do nothing. I had a friend tell me I'm not disabled. And I'm like, how is that? He says, because a disabled person can't do anything. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? You have disabled people in movies nowadays. The real disabled people, not the actors that portray disabled people. Oh no, we're not talking about them. We're talking about people that are actually disabled, that are in very big movies. You have disabled people that race their wheelchairs for a living. You got people that are disabled that's in a wheelchair can get in a race car and race like anybody else. You have disabled people running marathons. You have them doing so many great things. And the only thing you guys can say is a disabled person is a person that's unable to do things. We can do anything we want within limits, but we can do it. We are not these objects you guys could just put a label on. We're disabled. That's what that means. We don't have the ability to do certain things that people, able-bodied people, are able to do. And when society stops that way of thinking, I think we will get a better understanding as the type of people we are. We're not these things that just continually just keeps popping up like we just, hey, we're going to be disabled. Let's go ahead and do this to ourselves today. So we can get, no, come on. People, for some people, disability, they feel like we're attention grabbers or we like attention. Come on, who would like? Let me tell you guys something. Me personally, if I had the ability to take everything away from me that's disabled, I would. This is not something I ask for. This is not something that a lot of disabled people ask for. To be honest with you. Even in dating. I don't know. Before I said I'm not dating anymore, you know how many dudes actually saw my face, saw that, and it's like, oh, she's pretty. And the next thing you know, they see my beautiful wheelchair. They're like, ooh, U-turn. What did my wheelchair do to you? Did my wheelchair talk to you? Did it make a face? What did it do? Wheelchair does not mean, I have to get her out of bed, and I have to brush her teeth for her, and I have to bathe her, and I have to feed her, and I have to clothe her. Listen, dude, I can bathe myself. I can brush my own teeth. I can make my own meals. Clean myself. I can dress myself. I just use the wheelchair to get around because I'm unable to do it myself. That's it. Nothing you need to do differently than you already been doing. I can do it on my own, sir. And if you think that the wheelchair is scary, then maybe you need to look at yourself a little bit more because it's your insecurity, yours. I believe people have preferences. People are allowed to. But let me tell you something. If a person is a sweet person, they're a nice person, don't look at their disability as a killing of the day. Come on. Don't do that. Because if it was you, you wouldn't like it. If the shoe was on the other foot, I'm guaranteeing you would not be like, okay, that's great. No, you wouldn't. You'd be like, excuse me. But what makes me less of a person than you? That's why I decided not to date anymore. That's why I decided that it's not a good move for me. Because I don't need the sympathy. I need respect, just like any other disabled person. Society is all screwed up. They only care about how much money you make, how you look. That's it. You can make all the money in the world and be a total prick. You could be the most beautiful or the most handsome and be a total asshole. It doesn't matter. As long as you look good and you got money, it doesn't matter if you're a total jerk. It really doesn't. As long as you look good. But here's a secret that you may not know about that. You get older every day. Guess what happens every time your birthday rolls around? What happens? You get older and older and older and older. Eventually, your face will have wrinkles on it. Things start to droop, and this is for guys too. Don't think you'll be buffed until you're 80. Come on, let's be real. Things start to hurt, start to walk a little slower. You won't be that buff and handsome buff man or that handsome woman anymore. You'll just be a senior citizen. What looks matter then? This is the problem with society. It has this weirdo, I'm better than you attitude when realistically you're on the same level as anyone else, and that's the human level. That's the human level and the human condition. That's it. There's no way around that. And the sad part about it is I don't think me personally, disabled family, me personally, change. The only thing we can do is advocate for ourselves. And the only thing and how we can do that is by, when people come up to you and ask you questions that's really, really, really uncalled for, the best thing you can do is either say, I appreciate your question, but what are you trying to ask here? If they, stare at you, don't worry about it. Just look down at your cell phone or read a book or focus your attention somewhere else. Don't give them the satisfaction of staring back like I stupid. When people, ignore you, then let them ignore you. Because guess what? They will never understand it because they're not in your shoes at all. So they wouldn't understand. So you're going to get that. When you have friends that tell you this speech and then, like, oh, you'll get better, their heart's in the right place. But realistically, no. There are people that don't get better. And you know your situation. When you have friends that tell you your situation, they think they know better than you, it can become a little irritating and you do get angry. But don't leash out. Say, I appreciate you caring, but I think I know my situation better than you. If you happen to be in a relationship and they're being distant and they just don't know, or you want to go out and they don't, it's because they have a fear of what society thinks about how you two look together. That's all it is. It's about image. Image. It's not necessarily you as a person, it's the image. That's like me going out with a friend and I'm in a wheelchair and they're standing. They're like, well, what are you doing with that person? She can't dance. She can't. Come on. You don't think we like to get out when we can? I don't think me personally is going to change at all. I really don't. The way the world is, I don't think it's going to stop or anything like that because it's not just disability that people have a problem with. It's how someone's look affects them. It's how they're supposed to look. Their commercialized view on how someone's supposed to look. Society is all screwed up. Social media is the number one place where people get ridiculed on. You have to look a certain way. And a lot of people on social media, that's not the real them. I have to go through a lot of paint and plastic and everything else to look that way. Tie things up, suck things in to look that way. That's just it. That's not the real them. The minute that camera's off, they're going to loose the belly, wipe all that paint off their face, and deflate whatever it is that's inflated. And that's them. They're not going to let you see that part. So they're just as insecure about their image than we are about how the world views us. That's why they want to point the finger at you because yours is more visible. And what we need to do as a community is not let that get to us. Because it's not us that's the problem. It's society and how they view us as the problem. Even in healthcare. The minute they see a disabled person, they already have their book out saying, oh my gosh, we have to do a lot more for this patient than any other patient. And then they get irritated before they even have a chance to shake your hand. It's a common thing. It's how we handle it that makes the difference. And me personally, instead of me getting angry at people, I just be my beautiful, sarcastic self. And I tell them exactly where to go without telling them exactly where to go. And if they don't pick up the hint, then that's their problem. I'll just ride off like I normally do. I used to, be honest with you guys, I used to sit back and get sad because people don't like my post. People just ignore the fact of this and that. And I'm like, you know what? They can help themselves. This is how society has made these people. It's all about image. If you don't fit that criteria, they're going to treat you that way. And there's nothing wrong with that because it's them, not you. So disabled family, never blame yourself for how someone else views you. Never blame yourself on how society views you. Never blame yourself on how society treats you because they don't know what to do. They're senseless. They're not in your shoes, so they wouldn't care how you feel. Care more about yourself. Love more of yourself. Love your wheelchair, yes. Love your cane. Love your walker. Love everything about you. Love it. It stays when we're sick and we can't, but you know what? You can still smile about it. Because guess what? We're still here. We're not going anywhere. As long as there's human life and human existence, there are going to be unfortunate cases of disability. It's not going anywhere. So society is going to change, but that part isn't. Because there's going to be always someone out there that is newly diagnosed as disabled or has been living with it for years and years. So that part won't change. The only thing that will change is society's perception on how we need to be or how we should conduct ourselves. Shouldn't have to explain to any stranger how you got in a wheelchair, why you use a cane, why are you stepping out of your car with a handicap placard when you can walk. They have no idea of your medical history. Let them be jerks. They leave a note in your car, tear it up. It's not going to affect your life at all. It's just them being insensitive and not understanding what's going on. You shouldn't have to answer any questions a person has about your disability. You happen to have an invisible disability or an invisible illness that prevents you from walking a long distance. When you park your car, then dang it, use that. Don't let them and they're looking and saying things mess you up. Getting to the point to where they're ridiculing people with service dogs. And then you got some people out there that's not even a service dog, and they're abusing the use of that. So it makes it hard on the people that does have service dogs to use them. We have to get questions harder than the people that are faking it. We have to pull out credentials. We have to explain. We have to do all that. But a person that buys a service dog thing and put it on their house dog can go in a Walmart with no question. But we have a legit service dog. We have to pull out this, pull out an ID, do this and do that. Like, what? You telling me the fakers get more respect than the people that actually have a service dog? And the myth is that you're supposed to have an ID or certification for a service dog. No, you don't. There's no. There's a difference between a service dog society. Listen, there's a difference between a service dog and an emotional support animal. Let's get it straight. There's a difference. A emotional support animal is for people with like PTSD, that has a pet, makes them feel happy. And that's true. Pets will make you feel a lot happier than a human. So a lot of them use the animals, lift their spirits a little bit. But it's not the kind of pet you take into stores or public establishments that allow it. That's only for your home. Okay? So if it says no pets, unless it's a service dog, just because your pet is an emotional pet, like an emotional support pet, that doesn't mean they're going to allow you to go in there. I'm sorry, but unless the laws change to allow that, it's not going to allow it right now. A service dog is a dog that helps people with disabilities like seizures, diabetes, a real bad case of diabetes, or something that the dog can sense that the owner cannot. It's like a medical alert kind of thing. The medical alert, you press the button if you're feeling some sort of way and the ambulance comes. Well, this animal can sense when there's trouble about to brew. They'll warn you, and then you'll be able to, that's what a service dog is. For blind people, of course, but for people with, even in wheelchairs, dogs that sense your medical issue and can alert you about it so that you either catch it before it happens, or when it does happen, they can bark or something and you can call the ambulance or however it goes. But this is what I know about service animals, and they are allowed in public places. But there's a lot of establishments that will not allow that because it's a pet to them. So they won't allow it. But law states, the ADA states that you can bring If it's say a business, is open to the public, then you can bring your service dog, because that service dog has a purpose. You can't go anywhere without it, because if you do, you could be in some type of trouble. Your dog is not there, and then the inevitable happens, and we don't want that. But there's a lot of establishments that misconstrue that. They just don't want to hear it. And I believe that it needs to be stricter laws to that. The only thing you need to answer to them when they ask you, is this a service dog? Yes. What are their what do you say? You tell them it's a service dog, and you tell them what is it trained to do. Like, what is its responsibilities? That's all they can ask you. They cannot ask you to whip out a registration, because there is none. They can't ask you to whip out an ID about the service dog, because there is none. There is none. If your dog is in training, they can still enter the establishment. That's how you train them. And there's a lot of establishments that just don't get it. So society, open your eyes instead of your mouth so much. Read. That helps. And maybe we can coexist. We're not asking you to kiss our butts, and we're not asking you for charity. We're not asking you for sympathy. We're not asking you to bow down. What we're asking is that we coexist without all this drama. That's it. I had to get that off my chest. For the people who listen, thank you. People who didn't, oh well, you'll be all right. So on that note, I'll probably come back more. But right now, I don't think so. It depends on how I feel and what's on my mind at the time. But please, if you're watching for the first time, I'm not here to do tricks for you. I'm not here to be crazy on here. I'm not here for that. This is basically my blog, and it does help a few people. The next broadcast I'm going to dip into, which is really important for the disabled community, is health disparities. Basically what that is that how doctors view you, not by how you look and what your symptoms are. They view you by where you live, your race, your income. That's how you be treated. So we're going to look at that. And when I say race, it's not just the black race. Come on now. It's anyone that's impoverished, living in a not so rich neighborhood, but does have insurance now. They do have it. But for some reason, the more privileged get the best care, and it's called hidden bias. Same exact thing. So we're going to dip into that in the next show, but I have to prepare for it, get more information, do my research, and then I'll come back to you guys about that. So I think that's something we need to dip into, so that when you do have that visit to where you don't understand why the doctor treated you like that, but then you hear him down the hall, hee hee ha ha, yeah, oh, we're going to take the best care of you. And then they come in your room like, yeah, oh, yeah, yeah. Like they're not listening. That show about health disparities will explain it all. So I hope you tune into that. I do appreciate you guys listening. I'm going to wrap this up. Thank you so much. I want you guys to enjoy the rest of your week. And until I see you guys again, thank you so much.